r/AskReddit. What's a little known but obvious fact that will immediately make all of us feel stupid? If you edit your Reddit post under 3 minutes, it will not be marked as edited. Anything over 3 minutes will be. If you touch a baby bird, the mother will not reject it. I don't even know who came up with it. Tear ducts drain tears. They don't produce them. Percentages are reversible. 8% of 25 is the same as 25% of 8, and one of them is much easier to do in your head. Covered bridges are designed with roofs to protect and preserve the wooden structure from the elements. Without the cover they'd last about 20 years. With the cover they can last up to 100. They're not built that way just to look charming. The and thou were actually the informal forms. The King James Bible used them so that the relationship with God would seem more personal. Pufferfish are filled with water, not air. It wouldn't even make sense. Yet a lot of people are like, what? It was never mentioned that Humpty Dumpty was an egg. World Wide Web contains fewer syllables than its intended short form, www, thus making the shorter version longer to say. Edit. Grammar. You can't take a quart-sized Ziploc bag throats are full of the little travel bottles of liquor as you can fit in there. It's completely legal. Now, the airline might not approve of you pouring your own drinks, but it makes layovers and hanging out in the terminal much more easy. 40% of all sick days taken by white-collar employees are on a Monday or a Friday. Not because people are trying for 3-day weekends, but because Monday and Friday account for 40% of all weekdays. Accidents and homicide are the two top causes of death for pregnant women in the US. Because most of the other leading causes of death are long-term chronic illnesses. Cancers and heart disease. Mostly a person diagnosed with less than 1 year to live just isn't likely to seek pregnancy. It's a safe deposit box, not a safety deposit box. Just like humans, British cows moo in regional accents. The Los Angeles Angels is basically saying that the Angels were all in English. The La Brea Tar Pits is the Tar Pits. Chai tea is TT. Sahara Desert is desert. Lake Tahoe is lake. Sharia law is law. El Camino Way is the way. Soviet Union is union. Mississippi River is big river. Hula dance is dance. DC Comics is Detective Comics. Violent crime in the US has fallen over 50% since 1994. Think about that for a moment. We only think it is more because of social media and 24-hour news stations where we hear more than before. Despite some spikes every once in a while, violent crime has been plummeting for 25 years. When a nurse gives you an IV, they aren't leaving the metal needle inside your arm. They actually remove that and only a soft plastic tube remains, so you don't need to keep your arm that straight. Relax. Around 70% of all car accidents happen within 10 miles of your home, because over 70% of your driving is within 10 miles of your home. It's a statistic driving teachers love to toss out there, that most accidents happen close to your home. But if you think about it, most of your driving is close to your home. Even if you drive 20 miles to work, 50% of your driving will take place 10 miles from your home. The average commute is around 15 miles, and most people shop close to home. So it's really common sense that the majority of your driving will take place in that 10-mile radius, even if you travel further for work or other activities. When water boils, it is the same temperature no matter how big the bubbles are. The Terminator didn't need a heads-up display in his visual system. His system already had access to all of that information anyway, otherwise how could it display it? Redisplaying it in a form that would then have to be visually interpreted would be a complete waste of time. Just like a dormitory is a place where you sleep, a laboratory is a place where you labor. Your hair and nails do not continue to grow after you die. They need oxygen to grow, which they can't get after your heart stops. When extracting organs for donating, doctors need to keep the body alive, obviously through machines, but they need to keep the blood pumping. Edit. Since this blew up, I do want to clarify that, as mentioned in the comments, some organs can be harvested after death, but main organs like heart and lung need to be receiving oxygen. Almost all samples of sea salt that you can buy in supermarkets are contaminated by microplastics from all the crap in the ocean. Mark Twain famously once said, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble, it's what you know for sure that just ain't so." For instance, carrots are good for improving night vision. Fact: during World War II, the British didn't want the Germans to know they had secret radar technology, so they spread propaganda saying that the good eyesight of their pilots was due to carrots, and everyone believed it. Potatoes didn't arrive in Europe until the 16th century. It's so ubiquitous, you'd think it would have been a part of English culture since 10,000 BC. There's a D in fridge but not in refrigerator. It really bothers me. Everyone has seen shows or movies about traveling circuses, mainly in the 1930s or 1940s. During the Depression, running away to join the circus was a semi-reasonable option. Many people scoff at the Florida law you must feed the meter where you park your elephant. Those circuses had a travel season that heavily relied on summer and warmer months. They would spend the winter in Florida until the next travel season. Ours even had an entire season about this. The little piggy didn't go to the market for shopping. A location is tropical if it falls between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. In the US, only Hawaii is tropical, and only barely. South Florida is also very close to the Tropic of Cancer, but is north of it and thus not tropical. Over 90% of the hands you've shaken have touched a penis. That meme on Facebook that says your porn star name is the name of your first pet and the street you grew up on was put out so that hundreds of gullible teenagers would post the answers to their bank security questions. Do you get mad that dictionaries add new words like crunk or bling? They add them because people use those words and people need to understand what they mean. That's why they are in a dictionary. Oil paint doesn't dry, it hardens. There's virtually no water in it. There's, well, oil. Baby porcupines are called porcupets. Cats are like super lactose intolerant, and drinking milk is really bad for them. It's also mean because they love the taste then have an upset stomach after and don't understand why. They make milk that's safe for cats. Factoids have a second definition, a false fact that is generally accepted as the truth. El Paso TX is closer to San Diego CA than it is to Houston TX. If you're going to take a nap, it's lie down. If you're going to place something on a surface, it's lay down. I'm tired so I'm going to lie down now. I'm going to lay down this tray on the table. The word alphabet comes from the first two Greek letters alpha and beta. Your tongue rests at the roof of your mouth. This actually seems to depend on what language you speak natively. I'm pretty sure I remember that Tagalog speakers lay their tongue flat on the bottom. Most cars have a little arrow on the fuel pump symbol to show which side of the car the filling cap is, UK at least. It takes 500 pounds to crush a human skull and your jaw, your molars, exert 200 pounds of force. There is no N in the word restaurateur. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Dot is a suicide joke. Edit. Thank you. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.